If you rent out water dispensers to end customers, there's a question you need to ask yourself right away. Namely, if the end customer had to choose an expert in your field, would they choose you? If the answer isn't a confident and decisive yes, this video could change your water dispenser sales and rentals forever. Because today I'm going to explain the most underrated strategy for selling more without ever underselling yourself. Specialize in a specific market. People trust experts. People do this in every field, in medicine, in law, in sports, and even when it comes to choosing a water dispenser, whether it's for their home, their restaurant, their bar, or their company. So if you present yourself as someone who does a bit of everything and offers all types of water dispensers, you're perceived as someone who's not really the best at anything. But if you present yourself as the specialist in water purifiers, for example, villas, or for modern offices, or for high-end gourmet restaurants, you immediately change category in the customer's mind and they perceive you as the expert in that niche. Now, being a specialist obviously means focusing on just one type of customer at a time. It means offering customized solutions and water dispensers. And it also means speaking their language well, understanding their context. It means communicating just one message at a time, but an extremely powerful one. And it also means creating a new brand for every sector you serve. So for example, one brand for the home market, one for the office market, one for the HoReCa market, and so on. Let's take an example that isn't related to the water dispenser sector, but can help you understand what I mean. Let's take Duracell batteries. Now, Duracell wasn't the only company at the time with alkaline batteries, but it chose to focus solely on those and become the reference symbol for that category. In fact, today, it still dominates the market. So you too, who rent water dispensers to end customers, can do the same thing in your market. But first, it's important that you understand what not to do. So first of all, stop saying that your water purifiers are for everyone, because that doesn't work. You can't say you're for homes, for offices, for restaurants, for businesses, because people won't see you as the authority. In fact, this is the perfect way to blend in with the crowd, and so obviously, who wins in the crowd? Only the one with the lowest price. Instead, here's what you should do. First, choose a niche, a specific market segment, and become the go-to expert for that niche. For example, let me give you some examples just to help you understand the concept. There can be, if you're targeting the family market, maybe families living in the city, so you could have water dispensers for small apartments with limited space, or there could be the office sector, or the restaurant sector, or even the villa sector. But you see how each sector is a specific, each sector stands on its own. It's not just the general crowd. Your end customers need to be able to say, yes, I want Tissio's water purifier, maybe that's your company, because it does exactly what I need. Because I have a villa, and he's an expert in water purifiers for villas. For example, do you see how everything lines up? So don't take it for granted that the customer knows you're a specialist, because that's not how things work today. It's not enough just to say it, you also have to prove it, and you have to repeat it endlessly. Just like Subaru did, the Subaru company, when they decided to specialize only in all-wheel drive cars. In their advertising, if you remember, they said, we don't make cars, we make only one current all-wheel drive car. What was the result? They bounced back from a collapse of about minus 60% to become a distinctive brand that still survives today. So you can do the same in your own communication. For example, you can say that you don't just offer any water dispensers in your catalog, but that you specialize in, and so on and so forth, in your sector, in your market, in your geographic area. You can also be the expert in your geographic area, for example. Now, I already know what you're thinking, but what if many of my competitors specialize too? Well, if there are already others doing the same, then you need to go even deeper. So for example, instead of saying that you're the expert in water dispensers for restaurants, you need to say that you're the specialist in water dispensers for restaurants with 100 seats or more, for instance. Instead of saying that you're an expert for the office market, you should say that your water dispensers are specifically for dental practices, for professional offices, and so on. So the more specific you are, the more credible you become, and the easier it is to close deals because clients will want to come to you. Now, in today's world of water dispenser rentals, the ones who win are actually those who are positioned more specifically. not those who advertise more, not those who run more campaigns, and not those who spend the most on advertising. That's not the game you're playing. So if you want to close more deals, if you want to stop haggling over price, and if you want to attract qualified clients who are ready to sign your contracts, then start here. Choose your market niche, specialize, and communicate clearly who you are specialized for. Because in a sea of generalists, the end customer is looking for a specialist. Do you really want to miss out on more videos this important? Don't do it, because let me remind you that I'm the only one in the water dispenser industry who shares this kind of information. So if you know these things and your competitors don't, you're one step ahead of them. To make sure you're not a step behind them, be sure not to miss my videos. So click here, subscribe to the Onnwater channel, then click the bell so you get notified every time a new video is available.